A look at today's top stories. Let's head over to the Weather Center with meteorologist Josh Linker this morning. So Josh, looks like we're in for a nice day today.
We are. We got to get through a little bit of cloud cover and a couple of little sprinkles this morning. But after that, the sunshine will return. It's going to be much cooler than it has been. Let's take a look outside here. This is our view. Where are we looking? This is from Tarpon Springs, actually. Our camera brought to you by Dimmitt Chevrolet. We're seeing the cloudy skies out there, and as we look at Klystron 9, I'm seeing just a couple of little showers, sprinkles, very light stuff moving through. This will be it. We're getting rid of the moisture, and eventually the drier air will come in. Now, temperatures this morning are mild, and in some cases, this is about as warm as we're going to get today. 68 in Tampa, but I've got 66 for our afternoon temperature today. So we'll drop a little bit this morning and then not really warm a whole lot as we go through the day. But the sunshine will return. Still a little bit breezy. Tomorrow looks even better. We'll talk more about the forecast coming up in just a few minutes with weather on the nines. But for now, Angie, we'll send it back to you.
And it is 7:09. So let's check in with Josh Linker in the Weather Center for us this morning. Well, Josh, it's going to be a beautiful day. A little chillier tomorrow for Epiphany, but certainly not as cold as it was many, many years ago.
Actually, in the 18 years that I've been here in the Tampa Bay area, more than half of them have had temperatures where it was only in the 50s during. So it's been cold before.
Yeah.
It's been cold long ago. We've had ups and downs in the temperatures for sure. January can certainly be cold, and we've got a cool one out there for tomorrow. But before we get to that, let's tell you why we're going to get cool. We have a cold front that came through yesterday, and then a secondary little push of the moisture this morning. We do have a couple of little showers still in place. Lots of clouds overhead. Here's Klystron 9. We're seeing just a couple of little raindrops here. Once this passes by, we will begin the drying process around the area. So as we look at the wider view, the main line of storms that came through yesterday has weakened considerably around here, just a narrow stripe of showers down across South Florida. But I mentioned the clouds, plenty of those still overhead, low clouds in place right now. There's a good amount of dry air coming in aloft, and that will eventually allow those clouds to break up. We've got a nice looking shot here for you from downtown Tampa, or of downtown Tampa, from Tampa International Airport. Our camera brought to you by Fear Now Insurance. And at the moment in Tampa, it's 68. The dew point has come down. That's important. That's an indication of drier air coming in, and the west wind remains up at 12 miles per hour. So we've got some 60s all across the area. That's mild, but look what happens to the temperatures through this afternoon. We don't warm up at all. We'll stay in the mid-60s, and then as we go into the late afternoon, staying in the mid-60s. For this evening, temperatures will back off, and by tomorrow morning, it is going to be rather chilly with some 40s to low 50s out there. And then we'll warm up a little bit through the day. That mid-morning temperature around Tarpon Springs will likely be in the upper 50s. And then through the day tomorrow, we'll average the upper 60s around the area, which is pretty close to normal for this time of year. Increasing sunshine this afternoon, breezy and cooler, only about 67 for the afternoon temperature. Clear and chilly overnight, down to 49, some spots down around 40. And then for tomorrow, lots of sunshine. Overall, a nice day. Will max out at about 70 in the afternoon. Now, we have a little bit of a warming trend, then another cool down in the 7-day. We'll have that for you in 10 minutes. But first, here's another look at Klystron 9. Good morning, and thank you for joining us here for Weather on the Nines. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker. What we're talking about this morning is drier air coming in, sunshine returning today. We do have some clouds around this morning. Overall, a cooler weekend for us than the last about 10, 11 days of above average temperatures. And it's going to be chilly tomorrow morning, but I expect if you're heading out to Tarpon Springs for the Epiphany, we'll start to warm things up. The sun will be shining, the wind will be lighter, and that should boost your spirits, certainly. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow, just a little bit on the chilly side to start. Now, the main cold front has moved through. It's breezy and cooler. We have a west component to the wind. We did see a couple of little sprinkles out there this morning, but as high pressure builds in, that'll tend to dry things out quite a bit, and that will be our dominant weather feature for the next several days. So yes, it will be a cooler weekend. Nice and comfortable, however. Even tomorrow morning, our coolest morning, will be in the 40s. That's really not so bad for this time of year. As the wind relaxes, this high will shift ever so slowly to the east, and we'll see a little bit of a moderating trend. I'm not expecting things to get back into the warmth and humidity like we had over the last week or two, but we'll see temperatures sneaking up a little bit, mid-70s for a few days this week. Sunshine returns today. It will be breezy and cooler. We have a west component to the wind. That wind will back off a little bit as we go through the day as that area of high pressure gets closer. All right, let's go county by county and look at the highs today. about where we are this morning. So I'm not expecting things to warm up much. The sunshine will return and it will be breezy in Citrus County in the 60s, mid 60s for you in Pasco County as it will be breezy. Hernando County. Moving into Pasco County, we'll see some mid 60s as well. And again, on the breezy side, but the wind settling back as the day progresses. 68 Haines City, 69 Winter Haven and Mulberry. Again, these temperatures are really not much warmer than where we're starting our day today. Breezy conditions in Manatee County with the upper 60s. In Pinellas County, 66 in Largo, Dunedin at 65, Tarpon Springs at 65. The Epiphany celebration beginning today and tomorrow. The weather will be just fine for that, like I mentioned. And as we head into Hillsborough County, 67 in Tampa and Brandon and Temple Terrace Citrus Park, you'll only warm to 65 today. Now, if you wanted to get out on the boat today, it is still a little bit breezy, so not ideal. Tomorrow, much better. But we still want you to use caution out there. Northwest wind at 15 to 20 and choppy conditions expected on the inland waters. And about the same Tampa Bay and the Suncoast as sunshine returns. The breezy weather will continue, 3 to 5 foot seas, and we're looking choppy on Tampa Bay and the other inland waters. But tomorrow, with a lighter wind, it looks fantastic. 74-hour high. Look at Monday, 76. A lot of kids going back to school. At least the weather will be nice. 75 on Tuesday. We'll see a few clouds with the next front on Wednesday. Not looking at enough moisture for any showers. And then we cool down a bit after that. Thursday, 62. Friday morning, down near or below freezing in our colder spots. And then we warm to 67 with sunshine in the afternoon. That is your 7-day forecast. Here's the latest pollen forecast. It is for the next 3 days, and we're pushing up toward that high category. Brought to you by Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Centers. It's time now for the latest from Klystron 9. It is just about half past the hour. Good morning, and thanks for staying with us here for Weather on the Nines. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and we have a cooler day on tap today. It's mild this morning, but our temperatures go nowhere through the day. 66 at noon, that's about where we are this morning. The same at 4 o'clock, and then we'll cool off quickly this evening. Now, it is going to be breezy. Keep that in mind if you have beach plans. There's a rip current risk. We'll have clouds around, turning into some sunshine by later on. The water temperature now at 70 degrees. We're going to set ourselves up for a cooler pattern for a while. We'll talk about that with Weather on the Nine.
It is 7:39 and time to check in with Josh Linker in the Weather Center for us today. It is going to be a great day to be outdoors. And Josh, you know what I'm really looking forward to?
What is that?
Low humidity, my favorite.
Yeah, you know what the humidity is? It's not that it was overly high, but for this time of year, you're right, Angie, it was a little bit more uncomfortable than what we're used to for about the last week and a half. And you're right, we're going to see that coming down. You're not going to need to run the air conditioner for at least a couple of days, probably more than a week or so in most cases. But we do have a little bit of precipitation out there. This is the last little bit of moisture that's in place right now. I'm already seeing some of the clouds breaking up around the area. I'll show you one shot in just a moment, but here we go. We have a narrow stripe of a couple of raindrops from around Lakeland through about Ruskin and then out across Tampa Bay. Again, this is just a couple of raindrops, not really a deal at all. As we look at the wider view, we do have a more pronounced line of showers. This is basically the remnants of the band of heavier rains that came through yesterday, and that's where all the thicker clouds are. The front has pressed through. We still have some low clouds in place, but we see in our northern counties some of that is breaking up. So we'll go to Crystal River here, and we do see more of a clearing to the sky. This is our view brought to you by listed.com. We've dropped to 61, so that's still mild. The dew point has come down 54, and now the wind is out of the west-northwest, just a sign of ushering in that cooler, drier air. It's pretty mild out there this morning, 68 in Tampa, 62 in Winter Haven, 64 in Brandon, and as we go through the day, we just don't warm up much. We'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine through lunchtime at 66, more sunshine by this afternoon also, staying at 66, and then we'll cool off this evening much quicker, down to 57 already by 8 o'clock this evening. Now, the big weather story around the country is the storm system that dragged the front through has now moved all the way up into the northeast. A fairly significant icing event taking place across the Green and White Mountains of New England, New Hampshire and Vermont, and then back into the upstate of New York. That will be pushing out, and then we'll be waiting for the next system to be coming in out west. Now, as we look at the temperatures in the southeast, I don't really see much in the way of bitterly cold air. The whole country is chilly, just not too bad. We've got to go north of the border, and this is where we see the really cold stuff. And some of this is going to move southward in about 4 or 5 days, and that'll help push the next front through. We'll talk about that coming up with the 7-day forecast in less than 10 minutes. But first, here is another look at Klystron 9. Good morning and thank you for joining us here for Weather on the Nines. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and it's the weekend and things are a little bit cooler out there now, but we are going to see sunshine returning. We've got quite a few clouds out there this morning, but I'm expecting more sunshine to come back in, and overall cooler weather for this weekend, ending a stretch of about 11 straight days with above normal high temperatures. Then it's going to be chilly tomorrow morning and nothing unbearably cold, but that's how we'll begin Sunday. But it should end up being quite a nice day to close out the weekend. All right, so this is what we're looking at now. The storm system, the upper level low pressure area, that's the spin that we're seeing here moving through the mid-Atlantic states, some heavy precipitation in the northeast. This is where the main source of energy was that kicked off our thunderstorms here yesterday. Again, that has accelerated quickly to the northeast. The front is through, and we're looking at some cooler, drier air coming into our area on the heels of a brisk northwest wind. That will relax a little bit through the day, but we don't warm up much. And then high pressure will settle in. It'll be nearby tomorrow morning with a lighter wind, so do expect things to cool down. And then through the day tomorrow, as high pressure stays basically almost right on top of us, we're going to have sunshine, and this will be the weather feature for the next couple of days. So let's look at the temperatures. It's mild out there this morning, but we're not going to warm up a whole lot, so it'll be cooler than average through midday, and then on into the afternoon. We'll only manage the middle 60s in most spots. And then as we go through the night and into tomorrow morning, 40s to low 50s around Tampa Bay. And then through the day tomorrow, upper 60s touching 70 briefly in the afternoon, which is actually normal for this time of year. Now for today, cloudy this morning, at least in spots, then sunshine returning as temperatures warm up into the middle 60s around the area. And if you have boating plans this weekend, tomorrow will be better because today, still breezy. Now you're going to want to use caution out there. The sunshine will return. It's going to be cooler, but again, the breeze is up. Northwest 15 to 20 knots. 3 to 5 foot seas and choppy conditions will be found on the bay and other inland waters. Here's your 7-day forecast, and the sunshine coming back. A glorious day tomorrow. A little bit warmer on Monday, but pleasant 76. We don't see any 80s like we had for a while. 69 on Wednesday with our next front, and the next one will cool us down. 62 on Thursday. Friday morning will be the coldest air we've seen in quite some time, with some lows in the 30s and to around 40 before we warm up to 67 to close the week. That's your 7-day forecast. Another check of the weather is coming up at the top of the hour, but first here's another look at Klystron 9.
Look at today's top stories. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Josh Linker is with us this morning. So Josh, it's going to be a rather chilly day for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Angie. Although it is mild this morning, temperatures really won't go anywhere as we go through the day. So you factor that into how things feel, and throughout the day, we're going to stay in the 60s throughout, but we're going to start to see more scenes like this. This is our view from Weeki Wachee, brought to you by FBC Mortgage, and we're already starting to clear out in some locations. Many of us, however, are still looking cloudy. Like here we go to St. Pete. This is our view brought to you by crowncars.com, and we can see the clouds that are in place. Let's look at the temperatures. 66 in Tampa. We've now dropped to 59 in Crystal River. You've dropped on account of the clearing sky. 67 in St. Petersburg. Here's the satellite imagery. The front is to our south, and through the day, all right, we talked about being in the mid-60s this morning. That'll be the temperature at noontime. That'll be the temperature this afternoon with increasing sunshine. And then the cooling process will begin if you have Saturday evening plans. You're definitely going to want a little bit of a heavier jacket to go out tonight. Now, I'll have much more on your forecast coming up in just a few minutes with Weather on the Nines. But for now, Angie, we'll send it back to you.